So we have another Lamborghini Huracan to enter the collection I have. I don't actually have a stock Huracan, and this one is made by Kyosho. Just based on the appearance of it, I think it's the very first Huracan that came out in 2014 and ran up until 2019. So I usually also avoid these Kyosho more modern crystal box ones because they're usually expensive. But I got this off eBay and it wasn't that expensive. So you might want to look it up, and decide for yourself if it's too pricey or not. Anyways, it's a real licensed product here, and it doesn't say which Huracan it is, but I'm gonna guess this is the LP610-4. Okay, let me open this thing. So the LP610-4 has a 5.2 liter V10 engine in the back there, and it's making around 600 horsepower. It's supposed to be running on 20-inch wheels, has carbon ceramic brakes, and it's an all-wheel drive system that will let this thing go 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds. That's really fast. And then, ooh, that's loose. Anyways, it's supposed to max out around 210 miles per hour. So, I mean, this is a full-on supercar for sure. Okay, you know what? Yeah, those mirrors are rigid, but at this height, I feel like those mirrors won't break off. Or, well, this model wasn't that expensive, so I'm willing to take it off the base. I don't keep any of my Kyoshos in these crystal boxes. I don't. They just take up too much space. Okay. Let's get a little closer here with the camera. Yeah, so these are 2014 Huracan images here on the monitor, and look at the wheels, they match. I mean, this green, it matches. I wouldn't be surprised if like Kyosho got the color code from Lamborghini, but you know, my computer monitor, your screen, who knows, it might end up looking blue on your side, but it looks good to me. Alright, so the mirrors look good. Yeah, the vents look good. Sorry. What the overall proportions here? I don't have a problem with it. This rear view here. Yeah, okay, so you got the vents there. It looks good to me. Alright, let's take a closer look here at a better light angle. So, 20-inch wheels supposedly. Kyosho's did a good enough job replicating it. There's a little center dot there. Unfortunately, I think the axle hole, I don't think the axle is warped because it seems to spin. Well, maybe it is warped, looking at the wheel rim. My concern is the fact that the wheel is slammed forward. Like, it's not really centered with the wheel well. So I don't know if, well, great. It's nice that it's screwed together, so I could fix that pretty easily. That's another nice thing I like about plastic bases. If you have to modify it, it's a lot easier to modify a plastic base than a metal one. Okay. Alright, so the tires do look okay. You know, decent curvature to them, even though they're low profiles. There's no brake system on these Kyoshos. Not this one, at least. It looks like there's black in here. Like, oh, well, I mean, that's a real vent. That's a new one. I just thought it'd be blanked off and painted black, but check out this. The pick is just going into the body, so that's a real vent. Very nice. And then the mirror, it's got a little silver paint, so that's actually better than all the blister pack ones. You know, so that's good. Going to the front end here, I get a different light angle. You can see the texture here, so that's nice. Little black paint there in the middle, and then that goes pretty well. That's alright. Okay. Let's see how good that badge is. Well, you can't read it, but it's a general shape of a blobby bull and some Lamborghini text. No. Alright, well, I guess it's okay. This paint, it's not metallic. You know, when my camera screen shows as a pretty medium green, but when I look at it with my own eyes, it's a very light green. So, yeah, electronic screens and cameras, they change the color around. Alright, so the lights look pretty good. I mean, They're separate inserts, and it looks like there's a little reflective or silver paint behind it, so that looks good. The panel gaps are really tight. It's thinner than the dental pick. Alright, so molded in raised wiper blades, and then the blackout printing looks nice. Good typical molded details of a Kyosho, but no extra color. Okay, this side, I'm now noticing the little door handles pulls. Little silver marker right there, printed on. Same in the back. I guess this bumper is part of the same casting. Going to the top. Little silver paint there. Kind of a lame engine, actually. You know, it's so shallow. You know, there's no depth to it at all. But these louvers look okay. I have a suspicion this entire thing is clear plastic and they painted black over here. You know, that's why you can see some transparent there, because they're trying to mimic the air. It works. Okay. Now that is got some ribs there. Oh, that's transparent. Those ribs are on the inside, part of that engine cover. So that's pretty cool. I see. This is the engine cover. So this clear piece of plastic, this is open air, and this piece that I'm touching right now is the piece underneath the clear glass. So that's interesting. Okay. Tiny third brake light printed there, and Lamborghini underneath. I think you can read that. Let me get a better angle. Yeah, it's alright. It's not really perfectly legible, but it looks like it would read in Lamborghini. Alright, so the taillights, they're clear red, are they? I think they are. I don't think it's paint. You can see the light bouncing around in there, so it's just that it looks dark because it's in shadow. Yeah, you can see there you go. That's definitely brighter red. So it's clear red plastic, so that's nice. And then you get the texture there. So that looks good. It's like a squished hexagon texture, that is. The tailpipes here, they look alright. You know, some depth to them. Unfortunately, no license plate. Alright, so the tire treads look good. They look like modern tires to me. And they're staggered in their width, are they? Yeah, they are. Alright, so and then Kyosho writes what the car is, which I think is great. Oh, here it is, 610-4. So I did guess correct. I just don't know why the packaging doesn't say that, right? Going back to that, it's kind of lame, right? Why wouldn't the packaging just say all of that? Oh well, I guess they don't think about reviewers, naturally. Yeah, so is that axle warped? Maybe. What's the gap look like on this side? Nope, see, I feel like this tire is pressed forward. You know, there's so much airspace here, but none here. Strange. I can't pull it back. The front one, he seems forward again. I feel like it's not fully centered. I want to push this that way. Oh well, anyways, again, it's an easy fix, no big deal. But for you guys that care about rolling, this model is not it. There's too much friction going on with the tire and probably the fenders. It's probably rubbing up against the underside of the casting there. Alright, well, it looks pretty good. Let's compare it to those other Huracans I have here. Let me get the spinning machine out. A nice little Lamborghini meet here. I think that's Hong Kong, right? Based on that picture there. Oh, and also, yeah. I think that triangular building might be Hong Kong. I feel like it was in like a Tom Cruise movie or something. Maybe one of those Mission Impossible movies. I think he was sliding down the roof of that thing. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm wrong all the time. Alright. You know what? I think we're going to do a comparison. This is the MiniGT I have. And I thought that was, you know, just a standard Huracan. It probably is, but I'm now realizing it's significantly different than this green car. You know, I guess a comparison, maybe... Well, you know what? Let's do it. Let's do it anyways. Compare Kyosho to MiniGT. Bearing in mind, they're not the exact same Huracan, but we're trying to look at the paint quality and the gaps and stuff like that. Alright, so headlight wise, now again, it's not the exact same car, but MiniGT is better. I think MiniGT literally printed something on the back side, like that black and white graphic back there is behind the clear plastic. So looking at it from the front, it looks like, you know, real headlights on a Lambo. But the Kyosho is using a peg system where this black dot is literally the clear plastic lens going into the casting. So I give the headlight step to MiniGT. Now, let's see about this badge. Boy, I'm going to try to focus on the MiniGT Lambo badge. No, that's a blob as well. So it's pretty even. They're both blobby. Okay. Now look at the panel gaps here on these fenders. Kyosho has much tighter panel gaps. Right? Look how tight that is. But MiniGT has these super wide ones, which I think they're trying to, you know, factor in paint filling it in, because if they do a white one, they know a lot of white paint or a lot of yellow paint or possibly red paint has to fill this gap in to cover up the edges. But, you know, Kyosho, I mean, they still did it, and they did it better. I'm not sure if these dents are more accurate. Well, you know what? Looking at the real photograph, I feel Kyosho is more accurate. These are exceptionally big and deep, which I don't see on the real photograph there. MiniGT totally wins on the mirrors, though, because they're rubbery. You know, if you drop the model, there's a good chance that it won't break off. The only problem is there's no silver, you know. They have a recess, so you can take a silver pen and, you know, color it in yourself. They both have plain black interiors, so I'm going to say those are pretty equal. Although, I will say this vent here has more texturing in it than that. That's a bit plain, right? Okay. Let's go to the back. Oh, well, this is definitely a plus for MiniGT. They got the actual license plate graphic going on. Kyosho's got nothing. So that's nice. Exhaust tips, I think MiniGT wins out again, although it's a different car. It's just that, you know, there's black in the middle of this. So what it is all black and they painted the silver. Whereas I think these are just totally silver painted pieces of plastic. They're both good, though. They both have the clear taillights, so that's pretty even. Just looking at the hexagon pattern, they're both good, actually. So I'd say they're even, they're just different, right? But they're both clearly squished hexagons. I'm noticing the side marker. MiniGT has like a little crevice, like it's got a break in it, you know, in the casting. So that looks more realistic. Even though it's paint, it looks like it's a separate piece, more so than this, where it's just literally painted on the surface of the bumper. So MiniGT wins there. Okay, let's go with these engine covers, because I think they are supposed to be the same. Sorry, those mirrors were getting locked up. You know what? Sorry, this tray's miserable. It's easier to work with this deeper tray, but it blocks the view. So everything's a compromise, but now I don't have to fidget around. Okay, so look at these details here. They're both pretty lame engines, actually. But at least Kyosho has silver paint. So I'm going to give the engine up to Kyosho. And MiniGT painted the casting black. Kyosho painted the plastic black. So because they left a little clear, this looks more realistic to me. You know, there's no indication of air. That's a minor nitpick, though. Some sort of... okay. Again, look at the panel gaps. Really pretty big. Pretty good. Okay, now maybe the wheel quality. Granted, they're not the same wheels. I think MiniGT wins. You can actually see 5 lug nuts. This you can't really. There's indications of lug nuts, but they're just not really pronounced. MiniGT is much more, it's more obvious. Oh, now I can also see some printing here. It says Huracan. There's nothing here, but I don't know if the real car would have had it. I don't actually see it on the real car, so actually I can't hold this against Kyosho. But this vent here is painted black, and it does look nice, but it's not a real vent. The Kyosho literally is a real vent, so Kyosho wins on that one. The door pull, there is a little brake on the real car. MiniGT doesn't have that brake. Kyosho does, but I don't know if that looks good either. Well, it looks more like a door handle. Yeah, okay. Window trim. They're pretty even. They both have raised, painted black window trim. Look at the tires. They're both pretty even. They have the, blockiness of the sidewalls. For me, I like the Kyosho tires more, just because there's more detail going on. The MiniGT is just all the same blocks, it looks like. Okay. MiniGT has a metal base, Kyosho plastic. But both are great because they're both screwed together. You can fix, modify, do what you will. Okay, so that's it for the little spontaneous comparison. Let's get back to looking at other Huracans. Oh, zoomed in there, sorry. So I have this other Kyosho. This is a LP620-2 Super Trofeo. So I think that might be a track version. Maybe it's only a rear-wheel drive version as well. Clearly different. Pretty nice model. I just don't like the black wheels because you can't see the details. Speaking of which, MiniGT has black wheels on this one. This is, unfortunately, I don't know the exact one other than its Liberty Walk. The problem with MiniGT is they don't write what the car is. This doesn't even say Huracan, which is weird, This base is specifically for a Huracan. Why wouldn't it say Lamborghini Huracan on it, right? I put my own stickers on, so I think this car was around between 2014 and 19. But it's a Liberty Walk, and it's got a super cool metallic green. It's like a toxic green, or the Hobgoblin green from Spider-Man movies. It's really cool. I like it. Alright, let's do one last one. It's just a different Liberty Walk kit. This white version. More of a wide body than that. Well, I don't know if it's wider or not, but it looks more like a race car. Alright, well, that is it for my Huracan collection. I guess I'm up to 5 now. I was pretty happy with the first 4. I just assumed this was a regular... I guess it is a regular Huracan, this orange one, but it might be the facelifted version, or it's a more modern version than this one because the front vents are different, right? Okay. So again, you might want to look on eBay if you need to get one of these things. This wasn't that expensive, so check it out. I think it's just as good as the MiniGTs, minus the mirrors. The mirrors on this one are rigid plastic, so if you drop it, they're gonna probably break off. But everything else is there, and in certain ways, as we've just compared, it's actually better than MiniGT. I think they're both like 50-50 good, right, in certain areas. Alright, well, I'll probably get more Lamborghinis. I just don't know if I'm going to get a Huracan. But anyways, I'll see you around until the next one. Bye.